There you go.
Ready, set, go. Time for the show. Joe Wadio and my bro Paco about to bring that laugh attack. Yeah, about that. Make you laugh out loud, cause this is where it's at.
This is the best podcast that you'll ever hear. It's nice and comforting just for your ears. We got gimmicks and skits with limitless wits, making other podcasters just quit. Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's the man they call Paco, posted up in the cut like a bandage.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Joe Audio right here representing for Yeah About That, the podcast.
And today we have a special guest. His name is Greg. Why don't you go ahead and let them know what time it is, Greg? Tell them where they can find you, what your podcast is, all that.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This your boy Greg. For one, you can find me on YouTube. Just go straight to YouTube, Greg Smith Jr. 6. That's Greg, Greg, space, Smith Jr. 6, SMITH JR 6. You can find me on Facebook as Greg Smith. And I'm coming to y'all soon with my Instagram and stuff like that, and my podcast, because I love this stuff, man. I'm enjoying it. I hope y'all is too. Join these guys today.
Yes. And today we got a classic album review. And we went ahead and let Greg pick. Why don't you go ahead and tell him what album we're reviewing and what significance it has for you?
Man, this album here is one of the realest albums I ever heard from this dude. I was young. I was into it. You know, I'm still into it. I have fun with it. It pumps me up. It pumps everybody up. It gets me rolling, get that adrenaline going. And, you know, it's my boy. Y'all know. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna know who he is when I say his name. But it's that boy, Young Jeezy. Can't Ban the Snowman mixtape from back in the day. Boy, come hard and full at it, man. That's the thing right there. You know what I mean?
Yes, man, definitely. And mixtapes generally are always going to be better than studio albums, just because there's less, label execs involved, less people involved, so the artist can really do what they want to do versus what the label's telling them to do.
Yes.
A lot of Jack beats too. I love it when a rapper kills another rapper's beat or something, but does it better. Always find it on mixtapes.
Yeah. And that's that authentic, you know what I mean? When they come, it's all authentic. So it ain't, like you said, it ain't public and stuff like that where they getting creative and telling them what to say. Nah, they coming straight raw. They getting to you from what they know best off the streets and stuff like that, man.
That's
man. So let's you want to just get right into it, and we'll go over the criteria.
Hold on, we got to talk about the cover, man.
Oh yeah, well,
Greg, please give us your thoughts on the cover of the mixtape.
Hey, look, the cover can't say nothing better than like how I'm saying it is best. It's the man on the front, the snowman, doing this thing. It's just him. So what it is portraying that, boom, this me, and I'm coming to y'all raw. I like it. It's different. It ain't full of colors. It's strictly based on, him himself, coming straight. Can't Ban the Snowman. You got it up. That's it for your boy with the hat back. That's that Jeezy swag all day, man. Yeah. All day. If y'all know him like I know him, man. I like it.
Yeah, like he's about to backhand you. Right?
Yeah, that's what it is. You can't ban the snowman, so it's like, bam.
Yeah. No, it's simple. He's got a very arrogant feel to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
With how do you say it?
With
authority.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I thought initially this was a Christmas album because he's talking about the snowman,
okay.
like Frosty the Snowman. But this is the first song. I was wrong. So
yeah, okay. Let's bust out with Paco's 4-part recipe for creating a classic album review. Okay, yes. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the first criteria, and that's gonna be the beats.
Hold on, let me click on it.
Yeah, click on that. All right.
That way they know. That way the viewers can follow along.
We'll let our guest go first. Greg, please give us 1 through 5 beats and why.
Beats straight off the rip, coming to y'all straight. 5 flat out. I ain't even playing. Straight out 5. That's my boy. He used all the hot beats, and all his beats is pumping. They're adrenaline rushing. Now, granted, some of his beats do slow down throughout the mixtape and stuff like that. But let it know that when he do his beats, when he do his albums when he do his songs on his albums, all his beats come with that banger. If y'all had that banger in your trunk, it brought that banger to you. So it gave you that boost, that adrenaline. It's like boom, boom, let's go. Like I'm whipping it. So shout out to my boy. All the beats is all hot. You know what I mean? And yes, he did do
Yeah.
a couple of wrong spin-offs, but I'm all 5 in it, bro. I'm all 5. Straight 5.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Paco, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to give it a 4. I would give it a 4.5. But like you said, there are some of the beats that are a little bit too slow for me, but other than that, I'm going to keep it real, just give it a 4, because there are some really good beats on there. Also, the ones that he jacked were sick. Yeah, good choice. So I'm going to give it a 4, but, the beginning of the album really kind of is slow for me. Okay. Or the mixtape, I'm sorry. But either way, I'm going to just say album from here on out. When I say album. Okay, so I'm going to give it a 4. Jay, what do you give it?
Okay, so, I'm probably going to have to go along the same lines as Paco, because, the industry beats, like, are pretty much 5s right off the bat. Like, those beats, them, so they bump extra hard only because you've heard them a few times, and it just triggers, like, an emotion and a memory with those beats. So right off the bat, if it was based off strictly the industry beats, straight 5. But some of the songs are a little bit slower. It did take a little while to get into it. Once I was into it, then it was like kind of full speed ahead. But it did take a little while to get into it. So some of those beats could have maybe been more upbeat, or I know it's a style, but I just some of the beats just didn't carry the energy that I was kind of looking for. So I would say a 4, just because a few of the beats weren't as great. But again, overall, 5.
All right.
4.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie. I never really followed Jeezy. I mean, I heard his radio songs and stuff. Yeah, but I never really went out and got his stuff. That's just for my part. But I was impressed by this, and we're gonna talk about next criteria 2, which is lyrics 1 through 5. Greg, please start us off.
Now that's my boy, but I gotta give my boy a 4. His lyrics do come hard, but they do get, that's my boy. I'm gonna be honest. They do become repetitive in a lot of ways. He do say a lot of the same things, over and over. And it's only so much you can really hear at the same time on every track. So if I'm going with the 4, bro. Like I don't want to take him to the bottom. I don't want to give him the top. I'm gonna stick with the 4, man, because I know his verses and his lyrics can get repetitive. So I'm gonna stick with 4.
Yeah. Okay,
right, fair enough, Mr. PACO.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give him a 3. Now he does come with it. Like he's got a very dangerous style. Sometimes he'll be like spitting hard flow, and it's sick, and then sometimes he'll kind of go slow and then almost lose you, but then come back with like a punchline. You're like, oh, you know what I mean? It's very dangerous for me because I will tune out if I'm not entertained thoroughly. It's very dangerous. He plays on that line. But, some songs he's just on point. Like, when he read that Nas beat the flyest, I was like, oh, dude, I hope he kills it. And he did. And it was, it was just surprising. So, I don't know. I'm going to give him a 3 just because he plays a dangerous game and he knows what he's doing.
Okay. Yes, man. So, I will say, some of the repetitiveness is kind of detrimental to the album, only because he says like almost the exact same lines. Like, he says the same content kind of over and over, but he says almost the same lines on some of the tracks over and over, which did honestly initially, because I'm not very familiar with his work other than his radio songs, but initially hearing some of that over and over was a little bit of a turn off. So he does pick up. Once he does pick up, and then even when he talks about like, he's not like, flipping it up all fast and nothing. He does rap kind of slow, but he is very deliberate and impactful with what he says. Like he has a strong presence, what he's saying. And a lot of it's like real stuff about what he does, what he did, kind of his hood mentality. And those are impactful. So it was kind of hard for me to grade this. I was going to kind of give it a little bit lower score, to be honest, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the 3 just because of the impact. If he didn't have his presence on the mic, I think I would have gave it a 2. But just because of the way he delivered the lyrics, in addition to the lyrics themselves, I'm gonna give it a 3 as well.
All right, that's fair enough, huh?
Yeah, no, it is
Fair enough. Fair
fair.
enough. Fair enough.
All right. Let's keep it pushing. We got criteria 3, and I think it says hooks. Go ahead, Greg. Kick it off, man.
All right, hooks. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna stay within the 3 and the 4. They do have some. He do got some good punchlines, but the punchlines again to me become the same thing as within the words in his verses. And they are catchy. I do like that. They are catchy. I do enjoy that, but they just don't change the pretty much base of the song. I understand what it is that he's rapping about, but the punchline is like, okay, we know you already done said that in the verse. And I'm just being honest. We know you already done said that in the verse, and you bringing it back again. So yeah, to a new person that's hearing it's like, oh, dang, it's jumping. But because I know him and I've been listening to him, it can, yeah, it can. So I'm gonna go with the 3. I'm gonna go at the 3.
All right.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep pushing. I think it's I'll go ahead and agree with the 3. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hate them, but it wasn't really nothing to wow me. Nothing really got stuck in my head with the hook. You know what I'm saying? With the hooks. And some of the beginning hooks were kind of repetitive, like just the same thing, like CTE or whatever. Yeah. I think that's what. I didn't like that at all. I was like, okay. Well,
I'm gonna say, I like the fact that he's bringing to light CTE, concussions from football.
Yeah, he's
a very strong point. And I played football, so I understand the importance of that. But yeah, no, CTE. Continue.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. But the hooks, they're okay. They didn't really stand out for me. I'm gonna just keep it a 3 because they didn't really take away either. Sometimes hooks are dangerous because they take away if they're not that good. But they didn't really do anything they didn't take away from the song.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
All right. So hooks. Okay, man. I gotta be honest and I gotta be real about it. A lot of hooks, sometimes I didn't even catch them as hooks. I mean, I knew they were hooks, but they didn't really draw me in. Like a hook should be something that is kind of like the high point of the song. Like even if you didn't know what they were saying, like the hook is supposed to be, what is attracting you to the song. It's supposed to get stuck in your head and try to pretty much have you recalling that later on, making you want to listen to that. Because a lot of times when you hear a song that has a really good hook in it, you remember that. As soon as the beat comes on, then you remember that hook like right away. That should be a good hook. A lot of these hooks didn't do that for me.
Yeah,
some of them did, but for the most part, and there's a lot of tracks, so I think that kind of also does something to it as well. Having so many tracks on this mixtape, everything just kind of just is a blur, and there's nothing that sticks out that really draws you into one song over another. The only thing, honestly, that kind of has that distinction is some of the beats. But so with that being said, long-winded, I'm gonna give it a 2 on the hooks because it doesn't grab my attention like it should have. And there's not really a lot of songs I wanted to play and repeat. There's songs that I'll play over and over, but not repeat. Maybe I just contradicted myself saying that. But I'm just saying it's not something I want to go back and listen to over and over. But there are songs that I wouldn't mind hearing again if they're in rotation, like in a mix, a playlist or something like that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
He got to get his point out,
Yeah, I have to make sure people understand from all angles.
Somebody say he pulled a Jeezy, just repeating the same thing. No, I'm just kidding. Let's keep it pushing. We'll go in the last part. Okay, number 4, which is features. Greg, please.
Features. Okay, I know it's a mixtape, and what I'm gonna give him a 4 for his features because CTE is his team. That's basically what it is. So I gave him a 4 for his features because he put on his team. He featured majority of his team on his album, and I respect that. Even though he had, I think her name is Christina Milian. I don't remember her name on one of the songs in there, and she was a different feature on the album itself. But I'm gonna stick with the 4 because I respect that him coming off the ground, him bringing his team off the ground, and they all working together. So I like that about it. I mean, granted, they did stick to the when you hear the album, they all speaking about the same bass,
Yeah.
but speaking as features because he used his team together. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay with the 4. I respect that. I'm gonna give him the 4. I'm gonna give him the 4.
Okay, cool.
And I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but the DJ Drama, I like DJ Drama, who really brought the hype to the album itself.
Yeah.
So that was my last part.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the features a 5, man. Everybody that was featured on there really brought it. They came with it. They weren't playing, and also some of them outshine Jeezy for me. Okay, that's the part. You know what I'm saying? But the features were not lacking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure who a lot of these people are, but they came with it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the one on the Flyest, that's my favorite song on this album, the Flyest Gangsters, whatever, where they rap over the Nas, the Flyest. Yeah, that's my favorite. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into that verse soon, but that whole song was dope.
Yeah,
I just love that.
Okay, no, I can understand that and appreciate that. And so with the features, yeah, this all the features were on point. Like none of them came whack. None of them took away from the album. Matter of fact, I think the features actually improved the quality of the album because it kind of broke it up. Because there are so many tracks, like, I mean, I know it's a mixtape, and there's throwing a lot of different sounds, a lot of vibes on there, a lot of working out a lot of things on it. But the features actually, elevated some of these songs to another level that I actually enjoyed those songs. I think a little bit more than some of the just solo Jeezy. I mean, he had some of his own songs in there too, but all the features improved those songs. And to Greg's point, as far as the DJ, that's another level too. That I would consider that a feature because that is something that's not just the artist. That brought another level to the album. But because there was such a vast improvement in some of those songs because of the features, I think the main artist, should be on that same level as the features. Like the features shouldn't outshine on a song. So I'm gonna give it a 4 just because there needs to be balance in that. When you want the perfect like mixture of all these components, you want to make sure everything works out good, not ups and downs. So when Jeezy songs are strong by themselves, but sometimes when these features come on, they kind of overpower and have a little more energy. I think that's what it is. But I'm gonna give it a 4 just because of how the features kind of upset the balance a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, you know when this album came out or this mixtape?
I don't. I'm telling you right now. I'm 33, and I was listening to that I had before my first child. I was anywhere between like 1920.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this
1920. This came over 100 years ago.
no.
Come on, don't do me like that.
Jeezy came out with this back in 1920, huh? No, but yeah, around this time, man, mixtapes were hot, man. I was listening to a lot of game mixtapes. It reminds me of a game mixtape, the way he's like putting on a lot of Black Wall Street artists and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it really brought me back.
That's a very, very valid point because a friend of mine, he rapped, and I told him, I say, bro, mixtapes from back then and mixtapes now are nothing alike. They're nothing the same. They look for DJs. You look for that hot DJ, that DJ Drama, DJ Khaled, DJ Envy. You look for these guys because they gonna bring something. Now I'm just gonna drop my mixtape. It's just me. I'm gonna find me a little DJ and that's it. And
yeah.
I mean,
drop and that's it.
Yeah, even with Can Ban and Snowman, because with Young Jeezy, what I liked about him with that was that the fact that I felt like he did it to put himself on, and he still because it is a lot of songs on that album. You right, but he gave his team the opportunity to be on as well. And see, nowadays I'm not familiar with a lot of them, but the couple of rappers that I know, they're not putting nobody else on, especially from Miami. People know about Miami. Like Miami don't support Miami when it comes down to artists. But the fact that he owned, and like you said, his feature of his homeboy doing harder than him, he still shared the love, and I liked that though. I liked that. That was respect.
Yeah, I'll say I looked up. So 2006 when this actually dropped. But back in that time, I mean, mixtapes were actually like a show. Like the whole CD was a show, like almost like a radio show, if you will, where the main DJ hosting it, like, is going to say things other than, you know, just doing a drop. Like he actually is talking, and involved interacting essentially with the music he's playing.
Sometimes they get the artist to host it with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was such a good time for mixtapes.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed how this mixtape sounded versus current ones, because you're right, with the whole team being on there, man. It's just like a whole family type of situation where everyone's going on there doing what they're doing.
Hold up,
it's a showcase.
Is it even mixtapes anymore? It's just people just releasing albums or whatever. I don't even think there are.
I think it's just people releasing albums.
Yeah. I think it's also because of how easy it is just to put out music on the internet. You know, like one person could just record something in his home studio, put it online the next day. Like there's not like a label or anything people really have to rely on, where you have to rely on a group of people, where someone just does it all by themselves, and you know, that's it.
Yeah. There's a lack of passion in it nowadays.
Yes.
That is, I mean, just think about it. Now, from what I like, the information I found, they're getting artists is just getting signed for a single. You know, back in the day, you were trying to get signed for the whole album. Now they just sign you for a single.
Yeah.
You know, so that the game done completely changed. I mean, I'm not in it like that, but just to see how it's moving around and how things going, like you said, the passion and the respect for the ones that did it ain't the same for the ones that's coming up now. Not for all. I wouldn't say everybody, but some. It's not the same, bro. Not the same.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, right now, you know, me and one of my homies, like we're releasing some music, but it's music we did like a while back. You know, it's before all this like streaming sites were happening and all that. You know, so we actually all got together and worked on a whole album and stuff like that. Sold, you know, physical copies. Now that there's you know, an online platform for that where you can pretty much get digital distribution easily. We're releasing singles, and it's just easier to release a single, get X amount of streams and downloads, you know, make a little bit of money off that, release another one, and it's like each project is like an album. And it's just easier to digest for people to stream on, you know, services, for one thing, because it's almost nothing out of pocket, or even to buy because it's just like $1, you know, for a single or whatever the case might be. So I just think the access is a lot easier for artists, so there's less effort has to be put into it. So
real quick, just to touch on what you said, knowing that it's easier for the artist, do you think that take away from that growth from them, that courage, that fight, that ego to want to get there? See, because you know, back in the day, you had to out the trunk, so you had to get up every day. That meant something to you, getting up, going out there, handing out the CD. Now, you know, like you said, is the passion still like authentic when it comes down to doing the music now?
You know, back in the day, we were selling CDs also at the swap meet and stuff every weekend. And yeah, man, it's a whole different game, man. There's so much you can tell who was really wanting it and who was, you know, just kind of lazy about it. Because when you had to sell physical copies and CDs and flyers and go all over the place and then just go to swap meets and things like that, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to really want it. And then when you did do things like that, it was more passion, and the people who bought CDs from you, they actually felt that.
Yeah. And the human interaction, like sometimes you get instant feedback, and you can tell maybe sometimes if someone, you play their music for them in person, like whether they're feeling it or they're not feeling it, you know, and if they give you any kind of feedback directly right there, that human interaction like kind of helps you shape what you're doing. Like you kind of feel the energy of your music as it relates to others. Now, like I say, if you have a home studio, you record, like you can put out your music without anybody hearing it. So you don't have any kind of feedback, anyone like to tell you, maybe you should do this or maybe do that. You just think you're the greatest person in the world, put it out to the world, and no effort. Like you don't even have to, I mean, yeah, online, but people make comments and stuff, but a lot of times people troll, or, you know, it's not really authentic. It's not a human interaction. So that's missing for a lot of these artists. That's why there's not as much passion. There's not as much, drive to make something that people feel, because you don't
Yeah.
know if they're feeling it. You just put it out and you think you're the greatest artist in the world.
True, bro. True. So much.
Yeah.
And
So,
yeah.
So let's go ahead and tally up the totals real quick.
all right.
But while we do that, why don't you go ahead, Greg, and let us know what your favorite verse is from this album, or just give us a verse that you want the people to hear from the album.
I One thing you can't call me is a deadbeat dad. Like that's my verse from in the first song on the album. Can't
Yeah.
Ban the Snowman. I'm back,
Yeah,
Mr. Magic City. Like
that one hits, man.
thought I was a meme when I throw that money. Like that whole part. But the reason why I pick one thing you can't call me is a deadbeat dad when you the one that should have been exposed. Unfit mother still playing with your nose. I don't want to tell my son that his mom made like
Yeah,
that resonate with me for a certain reason. Not that anybody I know that did drugs, but it's one thing I knew when I was raising my children, that you couldn't call me no deadbeat dad, and that sticks out to me off the rip. That let me know that he had children too, 'cause I didn't
yeah,
know that. I
yeah,
mean, the album came out in 2006. I graduated in 2005, so I was still a little late on that.
yeah.
yeah.
I graduated in 04, so no. Okay, we'll get into that. We had the verses in post because of YouTube and stuff. But you want me to go next, Jay, or what?
Yeah. Just go ahead and we'll just come back in. Bam.
Okay, that was dope. You know what? The verse that I'm choosing for the people here, my favorite song on the album is Flyest Gangsters, right? What's it called exactly?
Let's see here.
It's
Where's it at? You Can't Stop These Gangsters?
Yeah, You Can't Stop These Gangsters. That's that Nas and Illmatic. Illmatic's one of my favorite albums. But yeah, I love that song. I played that song more than once while hearing this album. So get into that first verse.
All right, here we go.
Jay, what do you pick?
All right, so I'm gonna pick Gangsta Party. Main reason I picked this one because I mean some of the first part or first quarter, I don't know, like the first few songs, like beat wise were a little slower, so it did take a little while to build up. But once this song Gangsta Party came on, and maybe even one for the CTE, but once Gangsta Party came on, like the energy level picked up, and then from there, like I kind of feel like the whole thing just kept going. Like it was really where the energy from the album started out and really got me into it. So I'm gonna pick Gangsta Party.
All right. We'll come back in.
The album does. I'm just thinking about it as you guys talk about it. The album does have a wave to it.
Yeah.
Like it has a high point, then it dip, and then it comes. It does. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
No.
and it's kind of cool listening to like an album, years after you've heard it, and coming back to it, like versus someone else that's never heard it maybe the first time, because then you get like another perspective of it, of oh yeah, I didn't think about that, because you kind of get tied up in nostalgia. Like I remember playing this album every single day, so it kind of gives you like a larger than life type of feel for the album. But when you critically look at it and listen to it like with more of a critical ear, then it kind of yeah, I actually realized maybe it wasn't as good as I remember as a child. Or we've done that with albums that we've recommended in the past, that we listened to like on nonstop, and then going back and listening to it, like, wait a minute, maybe this is a 2 or a 3. This wasn't as good as I remember. So it's always good just to critically listen to like things that you've listened to in the past.
True. No,
So-
you're right.
So
yeah. It also shows you how well the album aged when you show it to people who haven't heard it before.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A famous
And
one.
see,
Go ahead.
oh no, so you guys heard his radio version before you heard this version.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you think about? You can tell the different in mindset shift
Yes.
from when he, to now, and that's one thing I can respect about him, is that his I don't know if it's because it's now you in the mainstream, but it ain't. You can see the transition where it started over the course of time, where it's now I can't do this too much. So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. He definitely found his niche, and you can hear kind of go up and down, like from like his hood or his street stuff to like stuff that is staying true to him, but more for the mainstream. Just kind of his delivery, his presence, the way he goes about doing it. Uh, Speaking of aging well, like another album that we did that did not age well was a DMX album. We did an album review of DMX, and yeah, we realized. I remember used to bump DMX back in the day in high school and like right after high school, but after critically listening to it, it was like, man, this album's pretty whack if you if you really break it down.
Well, I mean, Swiss Beats was just whack back then on that album.
Yeah.
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Go and listen to it and see if you like the beat still. But
All right, so we did get all the totals added up, and then we're gonna go ahead and go over those and see if if it came out to what you thought it would be. So, Greg, out of 20, it looks like you gave this album a 16. So now, do you think that you would score it higher? Do you think you would score it lower? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Referring back to my man with the lyrics, I think I would take the lyrics down to a 3.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I would have taken it down to the 3. So I would score lower.
Lower,
You gotta
okay.
understand, and I was biased as well because that's my favorite album. So that's a shocker to me too.
Yeah. No, I mean it's still
we expect and welcome biases. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Otherwise, why would you pick it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what did I give it? Okay.
All right. So Paco, you gave this a 15.
Yeah.
15 out of 20. Do you think
That's accurate. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't heard Jeezy, definitely go check it out, man. He does not disappoint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He disappoints a little bit, but overall, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're like 30 years old or older or around that age, then you're gonna definitely get taken back to a time period when mixtape.
Yes. And so I gave it a 13. Now that is a little bit lower. I honestly wanted to give it a higher score. I feel it should have gotten that, but I think because this wasn't like a studio album or a radio, type of deal, I didn't score it as high. Because after I listened to this mixtape, then I went back and listened. I'm like, wait a minute, I remember him sounding a certain way on a lot of different songs. So I'll go back to some of his other radio singles and his actual studio albums. And yeah, there was that quality right there. So like, if it was one of those albums, I really think I probably would have scored it a little bit higher. But overall, for being a mixtape, I think it's kind of where it should be at. Mixtapes are supposed to be raw and just kind of what it is. And so yeah, no, I think it scored where it should be at, but I wanted to give it more. I wanted it to win more.
Yeah, I mean, I think mixtapes sometimes are way better than albums, but that's just for my part.
Yeah,
me too. But, I agree.
Yeah, like Stop Snitching, Stop Lying is probably my favorite mixtape from the game, and he jacks all those beats and just kills them all. Yeah, but yeah, Greg, thank you for coming on, man. Why don't you go ahead and let the people know what time it is, man, where they can find you and stuff.
Hey man, I enjoyed you guys having me on. It was a good time. I enjoyed sharing the album with you guys. If y'all, like you said, check out Young Jeezy, Can't Ban Snowman if you ain't heard him before. And for you guys to reach me, you can catch me on YouTube, Greg Smith Jr. 6. That's Greg Greg Smith SMITH Jr. JR and the number 6. You can find me on Facebook at Greg Smith, and like I said, I'll be coming to you guys with a Instagram soon. But yeah, man, reach out to me because I do a lot of positive messaging on my YouTube. So
cool.
Holla at me. I'm always open for that, man. Always open for conversation.
Oh, for sure, man. We'll definitely make sure we get the links on the show description. When we post up the show, we'll have all that on there. So that way, people that want to hear more from you, check out your podcast, they can just tune right in from that link.
Yes. Thank you.
Bro.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Hold up 1 second.
Okay.
You're trying to click finish.
Yeah, click finish.